Just congratulations to the players and staff. They did a great job, and as well as to Wagner. I thought they battled and fought really, really hard the whole game and did some things to make life on us hard, and they played very hard the entire game. So I was very happy to see us be balanced today, which was nice, and be able to go to the well as far as running and throwing, and you saw a bunch of guys touch the ball today, which was awesome. And then defensively played outstanding the entire game. I think it was 4 possessions in the second half, and they were all 3 and out or 4 and outs, I think. So just an overall good team win today. It was fun.
Coach, it took 4 weeks, but was the wait worth it for your first home game?
Yeah. We felt, the whole staff and team, we almost felt guilty this morning, like not having to run around at 6 in the morning to go do stuff and be on a bus forever. And it was really, really nice. And the environment and atmosphere here was incredible. I knew it would be good, but it was better even than I thought in person. So that was tremendous to see. We had great student turnout today. So yeah, it was good overall, good experience.
I'm sure it felt good to see Lane put up a good performance today, tied his career high in touchdowns with 3 today. I mean, like, you talk about his growth week by week and what you've seen out of him just coming off the hard road trip and then coming back home and playing like this.
Outstanding. Joe was, I mean, as sharp as you could possibly be today, not only with the throws, but the decisions he made and how decisive he was with them. And he distributed the ball all over the place. So, again, him and Angel are now kind of settling into that 1-2 punch and what you can do and run the whole offense with those guys. But Joe played his butt off today. And, again, for us, when we see teams that want to either load the box or create a specific box to take away interior runs, it is incredibly helpful for Joe to be able to operate and spread the ball, put it to the perimeter. And he did exactly what you want your senior captain to do. It was awesome.
He especially performing well today. I mean, how big is that for that defense just to be able to attack early and create those early turnovers?
It's super critical. I mean, that has been a big point of emphasis for us, is kind of reinventing ourselves defensively with how our standards, our expectations, the amount of people that play, the personnel packages. So it was really neat. Just the first series, you saw Kwiatkowski hit the back on the option route and force the ball up in the air. Dakota picks it and then scores. And then the next series, Dakota's on the ball. Heldman, I believe, forced the fumble, and then Dakota recovered it. So those were just to get a touchdown and 2 turnovers in the first 2 series to get us starting fast was critical, especially in the first 3 games, because when we started on offense, we had a bad snap game 1 and then a couple of TFLs in game 2 and 3. So it just shows the difference when we start fast, how big of an impact that makes.
What does this win do for you, Coach? An obvious question. I mean, to bounce back after last week and now the match opener next week.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the big thing was the 2 biggest things to take away from today is the same thing from the previous 2 weeks, is that we played, if not everybody, almost everybody, and then we came away healthy. So we are gaining rapidly valuable experience and staying healthy, which is really critical. So for us, I mean, and it's good, like, these guys understanding and getting how to win. We really talked today. This was going to be a game. It wasn't really Central Michigan versus Wagner. It was about our internal discipline versus every distraction that you could throw at us, whether it's fans and family members and a new home game and an opponent that everybody and their mother's telling you should just win. And, so it was our discipline versus distractions today, and I thought our kids did a tremendous job.
Coach, you already mentioned how you got a lot of the guys playing today. A couple of first career touchdowns, I believe, in McIntosh and Townsend. Thoughts on their performances today and what that means moving forward to have guys?
Those are 2 Michigan kids too, which is great to see. So Tommy, I mean, he's been dynamite ever since we got here in the spring. He is long, he's powerful, he can play the ball in the air, he plays the ball in the perimeter great. And he had an unbelievable play on a corner route today where Joe put the ball in the air before he was even out of the break. So it was thrown timing-wise and placement-wise as clean as you could get, and Tommy made an unbelievable catch and finish at the end of it. So I didn't know that was his first touchdown, but that's very cool. And then Brock has, again, been very, very steady all camp, but that's a good room, you know what I mean? So Nairi and Trey are a little bit ahead of him, but for him, you saw today some 3-back packages where those guys were all in the field together, and him having a ton of success running it and catching it. So Brock's one of those neat kids just because he's so good at everything. Like, he could start at linebacker here, safety, probably receiver. He's good at everything. He's a good football player. So great, awesome to see Michigan kids have some success.
Now, in terms of the passing game, it had taken a couple of weeks this game in particular that was different or improved from the prior couple years?
So one of the biggest ones is just like the rhythm of which we're going to call the game at. I thought I've been doing this a long time. Coach Chapin called as close to a perfect game today as you could. So those first three opponents, we're not trying to be quite as aggressive as we normally would. You want to use up a bunch of clock. I mean, you saw Wagner do that to us today. I think we only had, pretty late in the first half, we only had 3 possessions. So their job was they were running the clock a ton to try to shorten the game, which is what we did the first 3 games of the season too. So you really saw us today start to, when we thought we were much more, I guess, of an even matchup, start to run the whole gamut of everything. And as you continue to develop players, the receivers come along a little bit better and the protection comes along and the quarterbacks pick up the systems and we know how to call it and communicate it better. We're just, it's a whole program install and we're just getting a little bit better each week.
Talk about it a little bit, 4 weeks in and now you're actually here and seeing that support from the community. What does that support mean to you personally and what do you think it means to these guys and this team?
I know what it means to the team. Like these guys look forward to this and this. Like for the staff, it was different. So the players, they've been looking forward to this since we got here. I mean, like the playing at home in Kelly Shorts in front of our people is like the most rewarding experience for our kids, and they talk about it all the time. But for us, the staff, we were all really excited because people were like, "Oh, you excited?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm going to do this for the first time." You know what I mean? So the whole staff, it was just great for us to see there and see the excitement. And you walk through the hotel, and I was out at the tailgate saying hi to a couple people this morning, and it's just the best people that are all sincere and genuine, and they all want everyone to do well. And I think that is a really unique and cool thing that we have such a collegiate, inclusive environment for everyone to come have a good experience with at the game. It goes a long way.
Next week, you guys will finally get underway in the MAC play this conference. I mean, just like what's it going to mean for you and these guys now just to get that meat and potatoes of the season underway, especially with the in-state rivalry next week?
Yeah, so Coach Creighton was at Drake when I was at St. Ambrose for a long time. So I've known him and how good of a job he does. So it's an in-state rival. It's a home game. It's a conference opener. This is what we have been preparing ourselves for. So this is the fun part. If you don't like this part of it, you're in the wrong place. So it'll be exciting. But we have a ton of work to do. So enjoy this win and then watch the tape and figure out where we got to get better.
Coach, when you look at this, the 2 turnovers late, it was a little bit like last week at Michigan where it was kind of out of hand and all that stuff. And you can kind of say, oh, well, that's clean-upable and, we'll move on from that. But penalties, there were a couple big ones that, in a closer game certainly could have cost.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a point of concern for you?
Yes.
Just in the past.
Yes and no. So the penalties that we really only emphasize, I shouldn't say only emphasize, that we emphasize the most are controllable ones, like false starts, procedural substitutions. Aggressive penalties like a defensive pass interference or a face mask, things like that. I think we had one that was like an unnecessary roughness today, a block on a kick return. Those are much more discretionary calls, and we kind of caught that one defensive series where it was like another penalty on third down, and it drug that series on forever, and I think probably felt worse than what it was. But the Fernando's face mask, stuff like that, I'm not really concerned about that. The false start, those are the things, and the fumbles, we got to get those cleaned up.
The touchdown pass. Touchdown is an 88-yarder, which is great for Joe's average and everything else. But it's just a little swing pass. And,
oh, yeah.
And Reed does the rest. Did you see something, though? Was the defense giving you something there that you had kind of set up?
Yeah, so
series?
Coach Chapin told me we were going to score on that on Tuesday. So he knew based on an alignment with how they play their corner and how fast we can leverage the back outside when they try to carry in their coverage rules. So he told us starting on Tuesday, he's like, we're going to be able to go to this and get some big ones, and he was exactly right. So Joe, again, very decisive, perfect location on the ball, allows him to catch and run afterwards, and Nairi played his ass off today. Like he makes so many plays where they don't show up on a stat sheet where how smart he is. Like he was a master class today on right before halftime of when we scored with 1:41 to go. They turned it back over, and we were able to keep all 3 of our timeouts and then move the ball down. That was analytically, that was like textbook of how that should whole go, and Joe did a great job too. So.
Anything else for Coach?
Can I just take you back to that for a second, Coach? That last drive of the first half, you know, at that point, the game, you're in control of the game, but you have to be really happy because that's going to come in handy too. You're going to have to run that too.
Oh yeah, so
The way you ran that, you have to be really pleased with.
for sure, like the magic window is 140 to 2 minutes. You really want to try to not turn the ball back over to the other team in that window. Belichick talks about that, like the last 2 minutes of a half leading in, especially when we were getting the ball back at halftime. So when we scored to hit it at 141, we knew we were going to burn defensive timeouts, and then you got the ball back. And I can't remember how much time was left, but we still had all 3 timeouts, and that was a great. We practiced that scenario every Tuesday, like a 1 minute end of game, end of half scenario. So for us to be able to move the ball down there and use, and the kids did, where it shows off such huge dividends, is that because the players were smart of getting the ball out of bounds, all the new timing rules with that, prioritizing yardage over time, we were able to save a bunch of the timeouts and really only use them when they need for conditioning to catch their breath. So that's where like Nairi and Joe did such. I mean, it was a master class of what exactly you should do right before half to do that, and then be able to get the ball coming back. That's big.
Anything else?
What was Joe passing today?
12 of 14, 241 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tied a career high for 3 touchdowns.
I'll tell you the other guy who plays awesome, who's like Langston Lewis, man. That guy is a freaking football player. I love watching him, and he, a versatile guy. He's like how when you used to hear the Steelers talk about Hines Ward, he is like that for us, man. He does everything. He's really valuable.
To see Costas back on the field.
Yes, very much. And then we get Dylan Fisher back finally this week on D-line from a broken foot. But it's great to see all our kids running around out there and having fun and being healthy and smiling and being at home, and just all of it. It was very nice to see for our kids have a lot of success.